Hello dear channel, welcome to this video. Today we're going to model a medallion, an adventurer's medallion with Blender 3.2. Let's get started. So say goodbye to the cube. Delete. You can see I have a new screencast for everyone to see. Cheers! A round of applause. Woo! Okay, so let's add a mesh circle, 168 vertices, radius 20. Don't forget to save your file like this. That's great. Let's do a Shift D to make a copy. Let's scale it. Let's put it at center here. This one's going to be 12.5. Let's go to edit mode, tab key, extrude, scale, A, extrude, something like this will be pretty fine. Okay, now we're gonna need gemstone, so append. Let's go to the gemstone library around here. This is the new one. All right, I'm going to need object, diamond shaped and pear shaped. Okay, this one, scale. So 6 by 8. 5 by 8. Okay, the Z scale is going to be this one, I guess. No, that's too much. 7 was pretty good. Okay. Now for this friend, we're going to create a bevel. So let's copy the stone, move this one here, Shift D. Now let's go to edit mode, Alt Z, Alt A. I'm going to take outside shape, delete vertices, okay, now from the side B, delete vertices A, S, Z, 0, like this. Now we're going to make this easy over here, easy, yes. Just check that you're not touching the stone too much, especially at the bottom. Easy, ES, easy, easy, scale. So we're going to make it closed, ready for render. Beware, this is not for manufacturing, this is more for ES rendering. Okay, now select B, this here, bridge edge loops. Okay, so this is a closed bevel for a pear shape. A, normals outside, and let's see, a fixed orientation. We're good, especially at the beginning. All right, now let's call this nothing. Let's create materials at once. This is not diamond. Let's create a new material, gold. Just put some colors in viewport display here. here. Now, I'm going to edit this, make 3 cuts there, and I'm going to extend this like this, the scale to make it a bit more interesting. Now this and this is great. Now smooth shading, normal. Let's have a look at bevel and subdivision surface. Okay, you can even do a solidify here at 1.1 0.02. 1 is pretty good. Okay, we have this for now, and this, let's make a copy of this. So let's call this bevel. PR shape bevel. I'm going to Shift G here. Now this one, because this one's going to become a mesh, and we're going to join these, Control J, and it's already okay. So let's grab the bevel with G and let's move it a bit outside of the center. Okay, we have this here, so it's going to be a bit like a magnetic compass. Okay, so this is north. Yep. Now, and let's have a look at the numbers. -1. Okay, let's go at a regular set of 1, 3. Okay, so this one's good 4. This is just a guess for now. Rotation, no rotation, Control A, rotation. Now Control Shift D, 90 degrees. Okay, sorry. Control A, all transforms. Thank you, sir. Shift D, R, -90. Shift D, 180. Shift D, 270. No. 90 degrees for you. Here. Nobody that. So, did that move? Okay. This is pretty good for now. Okay, this stone, let's put it at 2. So let's copy and paste the scale. Now let's make a new. Okay, let's start appending some materials. Library. So the colored gemstones are here. Let's append some materials. Garnets, rubies. So we're going to take some emerald and some ruby. So here, instead of diamonds, we're gonna have emeralds. Let's make them show screen like this. There. This one's going to be a ruby there. Sure. Okay, save. Now let's start adapting here. This. So this means let's take this border. Alt Z, Alt A, C. Let's this S. Beware that the Z axis must stay one right there. Okay, now let's start centering here. Okay, this is pretty good. Now I'm going to do something here. Let's cut here. G, Z, so it doesn't touch the stone. Not too far, sorry. Don't hit F, that closes the solid. Bad idea. Especially now. Now let's make another cut right there. G, Z. Let's make it smaller. There. G, Z, so it doesn't touch the stone. That's nice. Another cut there. S, G, Z. Okay, so that's perfect. Now let's adapt the gemstone a bit. Let's see. I'm going to avoid touching. Here, this is going to be gold. Save that. Okay, this needs shade smooth. Obviously, bevel. And normals. Okay, so far so good. Now we need some prongs for the stone, the ruby, and we're going to also make some cuts and extrusion right here. I'm going to here. Okay, Alt A. Now let's start selecting. Control, 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 Control all the way around. Let's take this a bit lower here. This is pretty good. Now, let's add another cut right there. Shift, Control, 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 all the way around. All right. Now, maybe even a bit lower. I'm going to add a central stone. E, yes. So obviously we need to keep some light here. Z keeps on 1. Perfect. So it doesn't reduce the thickness. Okay, this is perfect for now. I'm going to make some cuts. So here we're going to design a stone. Let's see. Add mesh plane to the view. Edit mode. Let's erase this. Let's erase all that. Keep one vertex here. We're going to make a bullet cabochon stone. So they're like pyramidal shaped. This. So sometimes it's easier when you design the stone for the bevel. In real life, you generally avoid that obviously. What happened here? Extrusion, yes, on the y-axis. Extrude y. Let's make just the y. Now let's check the shape a bit. Okay, something like this. Now let's make a spin. So before making the spin, make sure that you like the shape. Sometimes it's hard to guess. A spin, obviously badly configured at the beginning. Steps 120, center 0, 0, 0, and 360 degrees. And this is great. Now let's do an AF. Also mesh normals outside. Okay, this one's going to be smooth. Now this should be an amethyst, so I'm going to append amethyst. Oh no, let's append amber. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so this friend is going to be amber. Let's put some nice orangish. Okay, this is perfect. Now we need here top view. Let's add mesh sphere, 62 segments, 32 rings, shade smooth, gold. Let's give it already some color here. Now let's scale this. So this is scaled for real life. You know, I like to do modeling, and also I'm designing this on the fly. I do have an idea for some parts of the design, but all the gemstones I did now, I just invented them right now. Okay, this is an important part of my videos and tutorials. It's like jazz improvisation, creation on the fly. So obviously the process is not necessarily straightforward all the time. And also I like to model real scale because I like 3D printing my design and manufacturing my designs whenever possible. And also because some people see my designs on my channel and then they want them manufactured. So I make them already ready, which is a bit harder. So this has got to be 0.67, something like that. Not less than 0.5, not advised. Okay, this is pretty good. Edit mode of a ZBGZ JG. Okay, this is a prong. Now this friend is going to mirror stone. Check that you do enter in the magic there and that you're not coming out of the magic there. So yes, it's a bit too big here, but also it means that this Alt A, let's make a cut and another cut. Let's scale this one and let's scale this one. Okay, now let's, okay, so I want some part of this on the outside. So what we can do is C, let's select these on the inside H. So now I can select the outside easily. B, I want this bigger. but I also want a bit smaller than this. I want this border, outside border. Here, there. Okay. So this one needs to be smaller to get the prongs correctly placed. So this means that this friend needs to be bigger. So means that these friends need to be solid view. Okay. So obviously when you hide something, oh, like this, there's the rebel vertex. Let's grab it and put it in place. It's always funnier to see mistakes than things that go well. Don't you think? Okay, this is with that. Okay, let's Alt C, Control J, Control A, all those forms. Now, let's make an array. Array, so we need an empty, you know that trick, obviously, empty axis at 0. Now, this is going to be from object offset from the empty. So the empty, I'm going to call it distrib. Distrib1, distrib for distribution, obviously. So here, distrib, let's put 24. And let's do an RZ to start multiplying. So I don't know if we're going to share the prongs. I don't. Well, it's going to be semi. Okay, obviously we have too many people here. It's what, 18 maybe? I don't know. 20? 20, 20, 20. We'll see about that. So for the empty here, it should be 360 divided by 20. We got this. So I was talking about sharing the prongs. This is not ideal here. So, or I put more stones, like 22. And distribution angle, it's 360 divided by 22 divided here. This is pretty good. That would be shared prong here and two prong on the outside. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. We're just going to have, okay, here. Okay, and also technically the stones are not fitting. Okay, so I have another idea. Let's put 16. Distribution angle 360 divided by 16. Okay, I have more space here, but this means that I can create something, not a say. Whenever I can, I prefer to add decorations and complications to make way more attractive design. So let's add. But I can achieve this with curves. So let me do a curve Bezier edit mode. Let's bring it up here. And let's work on this differently. Resolution, a nice one, 85 here. Okay. Now let's create the profile, add curve, circle. So like I say during these tutorials, this is a creative tutorial. So the process is not just straightforward. And I think it's important for people to learn how our work as 3D artists and designers and all of that really goes. Where's the curve right there? Really goes. What it's really like to do this. And that's why I also like longer tutorials. No, that's not the tapper object. It's a bevel object. Focus right here. Okay, so this is going to be gold. Don't forget to close the caps right there. Now I can do a W subdivide and work on the radius here and there. All right, and obviously this, and as you can see, I'm going to get a very similar shape, but obviously it's going to be cleaner, and this is what I want. Double tip right there. Okay, this is nice. Okay, so all of this is so that you can see the process of creating something. I don't have a drawing, which is not always good, but it's not always bad. It's a different exercise, so you develop different skills. Okay, that part I like pretty much now. Okay, now let's keep working here. Let's make edit mode a extrusion. Let's make it smaller here. Now a extrusion in Z axis. I wanted to touch the bevels. Yes. Like this. We'll see about that later. Now, before okay, obviously normals outside. Okay, so it's going to be, well, I called it gold. I said bronze at the beginning. Well, okay, we'll do it bronze. Bronze. Okay, now I need to create a sphere. Let's go at more here. Now let's center this sphere. Let's make it bigger like this. Let's make it smaller like that. Let's see if I can find. That's not too bad. It's gonna be a bit flatter. Okay. This is pretty good. Smooth bronze. Yeah. Now I need okay, this. Oh, but that's not too bad. Let's use the solidify. Okay, let's go out to 1. Oh, no, not that much. Obviously not that much. It's gotta be... Let's have a look. It's not too bad. Funny thing is that I need to take these guys up. So these, they go up. They must stand. Bad. Obviously, I will need cutters. I might do the cutters right now, but I want a couple of things. We're going to make the displacement. So for the displacement, let's go to the web and let's search the world map. I need any kind of this one is not bad. I don't need a high resolution image. I just want some things that look like continents, you know? Maybe this. And I'm going to save the image. Let's save it here. Here, let's add a displacement map. New texture. Open. And let's go here. Okay. The strength. 1. Okay, obviously we are going to need a lot more subdivisions before the displacement. 4 times. Okay, now the displacement on the z-axis, I guess. And also, because I'm not sure at all if... Okay, I have an idea. So here we need a cube. Mesh cube. And the displacement is going to be from object, and it's going to be from that cube. Okay, so the cube. Let's find scale for our... Okay. I need a different scale here. And okay, I can bring it lower so it doesn't hide the design. Okay, I don't necessarily want and let's go maybe -0.5. Okay, that's starting to be better. I still no, here from 4 is good. Then I'm going to add, okay, I can make it stronger here, 1 or 15. So also the thing is that I don't want, well, the map on the back. Is it a bad thing? Maybe not. So not that strong. At 1, I think we're good. This. Then let's see if a smooth modifier here makes things better. Okay, it's pretty interesting. Concept is already working. Let's see solidify 1.07. All right. This is pretty good. We'll worry about the colors a bit later. So if we don't want, okay, let's apply the solidify modifier. But I'm going to go at 0.1. Apply this one. Now this means that in edit mode, I can make a vertex group. So sorry. No transparency this time because I just want the front vertices like this, vertex group plus assign. Now let's go to the modifier. The displacement will only be for the group like this, and the smooth will also only on the group. And let me see the group. We can maybe, okay, remove these. So we go to the group and make a remove. Remove these vertices from the group. And this is much cleaner, all right? And this is what we have now. Okay, are we getting maybe... oh, yes, this might be better here. So let's go ahead. Let's go at 85. I want something pretty clean. Obviously, the resolution of the image is not very good. So let's have a look at. I mean, also I saved the preview image, right? So creating images, buying images, finding, oh, this one has a very nice resolution. Okay, let's save this one then. Much better for my project. Okay, let's save this here. Video. And let's change the texture file to the new world map, which has many more. So it's funny because the text on the texture is let's go 5 this time. It's going to be worth it. Okay, let's have a numerical go here at yeah, this is amazing. This is pretty nice. Okay, then it's more also the resolution of the file, even if it's already 3000 pixels above 5, it's still no. Oh no, 6 was good. Good 6. The orientation is what, 0.1. Let's go back to positive. Let's have a look at. Yeah, I think this time is going to be better. Positive. Yeah. Okay, we can even read Antarctica right down here. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. The question is the orientation. Yeah, I think we're going to go straight because I have the north gemstone oriented to the north, so the map should maybe be like this. The placement 0 here. Is it? Let's center things. And this is not bad. But like I said, okay, let's go on. 45. Okay, so here we're using the displacement, which is something that everybody knows, but the creative side always of modeling techniques Okay, but all of this, let's control it. Ah, no, sorry. Don't reinitialize the scale of the cube. Simply don't. Okay, just undoing. Okay, but this is great. This is good. Okay, let's hide the cube. Now, let's have a look at this friend here. I like it quite much. Like this. Very much. So let's do an Alt C to make it a mesh or object. Okay, it's calculating. Obviously, this level of subdivision is going to make, so let's go to decimate. This is going to be important for the rest of your project. Okay, because we have 12 millions. It's a bit heavy already on many systems, on many computers. Okay, so decimate. Let's put 0.05. Now this is going to 1 million. Okay, let's go at 0.1. I think around 1 million, 2 millions. This is the heaviest part of the entire design for this project. Like I said, this is more digitally oriented, like video game oriented, than real life oriented, which is generally the opposite. Okay, perfect. Perfect. We have 2 millions. That's the least it can do. Perfect. So now we need to apply. And that's funny because Blender needs to take all the time again to apply the decimate modifier. And generally, it's a bit faster than the first step, but not that much. It's quite slow. Now I want to work on the border, which obviously is looking too big, I guess. And we need cutters. Okay, so we need cutters. So for the cutters, let's take this friend. I think this one has the shape we need. Let's make it Control Z or Shift D, obviously make the copy. Okay, here. L, let's remove the gemstone and vertices, yes. Okay, now we're going to take just one edge, if possible. So with Control, obviously. Okay, here. Control I, delete, and we have this what we need. Now, A, F, and let's make an extrusion on the Z-axis of the screen. Okay, we're going to come here. Okay, let's make this smaller. Oh, sorry. Don't hit H. It's just on the side of the J, G. So H hide. E, extrusion. Oh, this is great. And let's make it smaller, but this one I want it, this one I want here still, for the cone of the stone. Okay, and now extrusion. Okay, we have this. Let's make it, let's remove the emerald material. Okay. Now let's make it normal side. Here we are. Now let's make Shift D 90 degrees, Shift D 180, Shift D 270. Let's take all these friends, Control J's, let's call them cutters. Okay, now the map. So obviously if your map is not decimated and you need to make this boolean, make it fast, you're going to suffer. Okay, but at 2 million, it's going to be fast enough still. Okay, what happened there? Sometimes boolean commits suicide. Okay, so the sphere, that's all we get. Okay, when this happens, what you want to try is, okay, I'm going to take the cutters and I'm going to remesh the cutters. All right, so let's make an exact cut. Generally, if the fast one doesn't work, the exact one won't work much better. There are a few cases, oh, like this one. Okay, perfect. H. So we have the cuts. Let's actually hide this to see that. It's very important. Okay. To get light to the gemstones. Okay, this is looking great for the middle part. Okay, so I'm going to apply the boolean. Only apply it if you know you're not going to make anything else to your design. Okay, because this is a so-called destructive process. That's how it's called. It's destructive because there's no way back. It should not really be called like that because sometimes when there's no way back, it's more a constructive process. But you should rather, yeah, make that difference. When the process can turn back, it's things change, and sometimes that's a good thing. But now if I want the full map that came out so pretty, well, I don't have it anymore because this mesh has the cuts applied to it and there's no coming back from that. So it's important that you know where you stand in your design process, in your modeling process. Okay. Okay, so this, I don't like the thickness of this. I don't like I want it higher, but obviously then also a bit lower. So okay, first needs to be, and also how much further can we be? Oh, there's a nice, so we don't touch the tip. I think now I don't want to touch the tip of these gemstones, and also so this can come lower now. Okay, that's nice. And obviously it's way too flat, has no decorations, and I think it's too thick. Okay, the world map. Okay, here we're going to take a gemstone here. Let's remove the array for a second. Okay, I'm not going to place that many gemstones all around the medallion. It would be boring. Okay, and maybe, okay, this gemstone has 2 millimeters. Let's see at a scale of 1.5, which is 3 millimeters. Ah, I have an idea. And also because this gemstone, okay, we have orange, red. I think we do need diamonds though. So let's append diamond material, diamond. Let's start with the materials here. So diamond, diamond here. So this friend is going to get diamond. I think this is a new one. Okay, so this one, let's do a shift erase. And this, now let's make a cleanup. Unused. Removing all that. This is great. So I can rename it diamond because I just want one diamond material here. Okay, now this is going to come here. Yes. We'll do work on, yeah. Obviously the border, I don't want the border to be flat. Okay, so here we're going to make a control A, all transforms. I just want 4 diamonds on the cardinal, on the cardinal axis, like north, east, south, and west. 80 degrees. And let's take this, shift the R minus 180. Perfect. So we have that. But I also want, let's make a shift D R45 on the secondary axis. And let's scale this at 66 to bring it back at 2 millimeters. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay, so we have that. Let's make a mirror of this one here because I can, based on the central stone. Okay, like this. So now this has to be bigger on the outside, but obviously we're going to decorate this border. I have an idea. I will show you how to make another new decoration. So on Z we stay on 1, yes. Okay. So we have that. Now we're going to create a torus, mesh torus. Okay, here let's put the 3D cursor at 0 location because that adds the object right there, and I need to see my torus while I put some numbers here. So 1. Okay, we have this a bit more. Let's see. Okay, a bit more. Okay, and here a bit less. Not much. 1885, 1985. Like this. Obviously, we need 168 here. Let's say a lot, and let's put 62 here. Okay, much smoother. Now this torus can come out. Great. Now let's make it a bronze material. Obviously, we are going to make some cuts. Let's have a look. Here, maybe a bit. Yes, Z, shade smooth. Obviously, this goes at shade smooth. But also here. Now, let's make it even centered to that border. This friend is going to get a bevel. And Control A, all transforms. Okay, so bevel amount 0.2. Okay, that's that's nice. I think that's nice. And let's make it a straight bevel, just like this. We could try, because you know that you can customize the shape here of the bevel. Let's try this, and let's make more offset. Okay, we're getting this or that. So we can maybe make it more interesting. Obviously, you can add points, taking on the curve here, so we can get this. All right. It allows you to make a more complex looking mesh without editing the geometry that much. Okay, this is nice. Just so always learning things, using features of the software, trying. Like I said, try it. Maybe then you come back to something simpler. Okay, so what we're going to do here is also we're going to decorate this. We are going to make obviously cuts for our gemstones locations. So first, let's bring a mesh cube there, and we're going to make it, well, it's not exactly straight, so we're going to taper this here and give it a slight angle like this. Okay, now Control A, all transforms. Let's rotate 45 degrees. The first one, this is just so I can put a mirror. Like this, and rotate it back 45 degrees. Now let's make a copy of this. 45. I don't, sorry, 0 in fact. Okay, perfect. Edit mode, and let's scale this based on individual here. Okay, but the size on Z is gotta be complete. Okay, as long as we cross torus, this part is very close to not cutting torus, but this is great. So now let's take the torus, let's make the booleans between, you know what, this guy's ASZ. Okay, thank you. So fast difference, these H and these, so it's another boolean fast from these. This one H. Okay, this is pretty nice already, but we still want more decorations here. So let's go and find a radial decoration. So searching for correct files, it's also something you need to learn, because if you don't know the name or specification or of what you're looking for, so the naming, the vocabulary becomes very important, of categorizing things that you're looking for in a very exact fashion. So I'm still looking for what's going to work here, but we're already on the right path. Okay, so this might work. Okay, okay, let's do something very nice. Let's save this image. Okay, so this is a WebP image. The problem is that Blender won't work with the WebP. So let's open, you can use, I don't know if GIMP, maybe because GIMP gets nice updates pretty often. But I'm going to use Corel and, oh sorry, I need Corel Draw. Corel Draw opens the WebP, which is actually a JPEG or a PNG, just with another extension. But not that many softwares do open the WebP format, which is an optimized web format. I don't really like it, honestly. Okay, now I'm just going to export this as decoration. Laurel Radial. And let's do it the PNG so the compression doesn't affect that much. Here we go. And let's make it bigger. Let's go at 4,000. And there's no transparency here. Okay, 4,000, please. Why? Okay, good. Good. All right, so let's try adjust the displacement first. I don't think it's going to give a nice result, but anyway, let's make a new texture. And let's open this radial, where is it? Okay, perfect decoration here. Okay, there's already something going on. Let's have a look. We have the booleans. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is Shift D. I'm going to copy the torus because I need to apply these booleans. So I'm saving the original like I was talking before because there's no way, right? Okay. Here, we need subdivisions then. Subdivisions. And obviously before, well, sometimes they're applied after the displacement. It also, look, you can see they became smoother, but that's not exactly what I want. Okay, let's have a look at, okay, so these are a lot of flowers. It's not necessarily what I want. I'm not aiming at this. So what we can do, reset all transforms. Okay. Now let's bring a cube again, a mesh cube. Let's call the cube placement. I think it's number 2. And this friend is going to come from the object placement number 2. And placement number 2 is going to scale up. Okay, so let's go maybe at, okay. It's starting to get where I want. Okay, I think you can see that. It's starting to become quite interesting, and especially because the resolution, and because that one was a black and white, I think with a pretty nice resolution, we're getting a really sharp. Okay, obviously move it. You can move it down. This is not affecting the placement, because this is a 2D placement. Okay, so see, you can have a much better looking. But the other option is to make it smaller and to move it. Okay, the only bad thing here is that I would like to be like there. Okay, so let's go at an even number, maybe 13. Okay, in fact, I want something like this side. Okay, but it's not totally helping. How big? Okay, let's go at 18. Let's go at 20. Let's try 20. So let's go at 20 here. So it becomes symmetrical. Okay, what we could do is move it here. So now I could make maybe just one side, cut it in half and make the mirror. Okay, sometimes you have to do that. That's normal, because the right side is perfect. Let's just have a look at the strength. Maybe it's a bit too strong. I was liking it. Okay, here we're coming out. 5, 175. So we're just at the border. Okay, this is very interesting. Now, also here, maybe at 4. Okay, I made a copy, so let's apply this. Okay, also let's apply the displacement. I am going to try a smooth. Yes. I do like those small grooves that the pixels of the file make during displacements. So, because obviously the smooth process, the smooth modifier works very well, but also you're going to lose details, okay? So, just to understand your mesh, sometimes I just go to the smooth modifier to understand the mesh. Okay, let's try to place it a bit more like this, a bit on the outside there. Here, okay, this is nice. Let's see if we're not touching the gemstones too much. Just okay, like this. I still want to do some things. Okay, I have an idea. Okay, we'll use spheres also on the main axis and the secondary axis. This is very interesting. Okay, let's hide this friend. It won't render. We filter things that are just for placement. Remove them from rendering. But anyway, otherwise you'll have a big cube right there in your face in your renderer. It's always funny. Sometimes we'll just go ash. Okay, so this needs to be cut in half. We need another cube. Let's make it big. But let's make it a specific dimension, because we're going to move -50, which is half the size of the cube. Great. Now this friend needs a Boolean fast difference. Okay, let's make an Alt C to apply the Boolean and everything. Calculating right here. Come on, Blendy. All right, let's erase this one. Job done. Let's make a mirror on the x-axis. This is looking great. Really, this is very interesting. You should really enjoy the process, the creative process, the artistic process, and the technical modeling process using Blender. Because yeah, Blender is very enjoyable. That's something you must develop, really liking the software you're using. If I was not enjoying Blender, I would not use Blender. It's not just the history of Blender, or because it's free, or because of the community, or friends, or people you know or you admire that are using Blender or any other software. It's what brought you to use a software, and also how much you can enjoy the software while you're making all that technical side. If the software is too much against you while you're making the creative process, the technical process of modeling, and you can't really enjoy the software because you have to fight against the software, honestly, use another software. There will always be, or if there's no software for you, well, maybe learn programming and develop your own software. That's how many softwares were born. You should know that. Okay, we need cutters for these gemstones. And these gemstones and these. Do you have them all? These. Okay, these gemstones. I don't have them all. See? That's no mirror. Okay. These gemstones, they need Control D on the Z-axis. Let's make an Alt C, Control J. Now let's make edit mode, Alt A, bronze select. Let's remove the prongs, I don't need them. Okay, now let's have a look at this. Edit mode Z. This is the very quick way of making cutters using the same gemstones. Okay, so now these are too big, and okay, here might be bigger than the other ones. Okay, all right. Okay, here I want to do something, if I still can here. But it's because of the... Okay, but anyway, I just want the lower circle because I want the cutters to also center. I can't move the cutters, so I'm going to scale this down because the distance here, you can see the distance to the flat ending surface there was not even. Now it's more even. Okay, so these are cutters, but there's something we can do when using the gemstone as a cutter. It's not always a good idea because they're sharp, they're not well rounded, but we can remesh them at this level, and you can also subdivide before remeshing and make a strong smooth. Okay. Okay, and let me see also now. These may be too high. So when I bring them down, it makes the hole bigger, obviously, because it's a cone. Now, this friend needs a boolean passed from the cutters. H, take the thing you just made the boolean on this friend, and the boolean is perfect. Okay, so that's good for the gemstones, but okay, there's something that this is smaller than gemstone. Okay, so let's bring them sorry, Control Z, Alt A, well, A, let's bring everybody here. Okay, the other option is to add a solidify modifier suddenly there. Okay, let's make it prior to subdivision even. Okay, and let's go at 1 to the outside, and let's go at 0.1, 0.3, 0.4. H. Check this. Okay, and I'll also check that your gemstone is not touching the edges. Let's say, obviously, it's part of the process, okay? One of my cats just woke up, but she wants some cuddles. Come here. Hey, hello. She especially enjoys when I'm making the videos because she loves hearing my voice. It's very soothing for her. It's really pretty. Super cute. Okay, so I still wanted some decorations because I don't like that flat segment there on the outside of the gemstone. It doesn't go with the rest of this so well decorated border and design there. Okay, so, and also because this is great so far, and we're going to add some spheres here and there. We're not finished yet. Let's make one more effort. Okay, so let's make it bronze. I'm not even sure if bronze is spelled like that in English. Yeah, between French, Spanish, and English might be a C or a Z. In Spanish, it's bronze. In French, it's bronze. I think it's got a Z. In English, I don't know. So, if I mistake that, well, excuse my orthograph. Smooth. Okay, so I want, yeah, I want something like this here, and I do want it to come out a bit. It can touch the gemstone because it also serves to set the gemstone. Decorative elements do participate in setting gemstones. Okay, and I might even make it as a side, but this one's got to be higher. Okay, here. So the problem here is that I don't want to lose the shape of that secondary sphere. So let's take maybe this one out a bit more. And also because of the prong, but this one, and also because it needs to be one solid with the base. So I'm not sure if this, well, as long as it touches, or I can simply, okay, this one, I don't know. I would like, well, let's test. Okay, let's erase this one. Let's make, first, let's make a mirror. A move this one to the left. So let's make it based on the medallion here and here. So this one, no mirror. Okay, like this kind of decoration. And this sphere might be maybe here. Okay, I think that's better. So this becomes 1, Control J, Control A will transforms. No, sorry. Shift D, yes, but Control Z. Or 45, doesn't matter. Shift D. Minus 90. No, this one and this one. Shift D R here and 180. When you don't have that many elements, you can just, instead of using the array and setting the array, you can just do it like this. So here I might want to make these, because they're secondary, I think I'm going to make, or the other ones, maybe these guys bigger. The thing is that I want to keep, okay, so that's individual. Let's make median point first to let, I don't know if it's a good idea. Or you know what? Okay, I know what. The thing is that these guys, okay, perfect. Let's take these guys, move them to the inside, minus 0.22. Now let's go to individual, and let's make them a bit smaller here, L, and this one just a bit higher here. Okay, this might just go very well because these are mirror based. Control A, all transforms. Okay, these are my secondary decoration. I still think they're too big and far away, so 15 here, and I want more difference here. Okay, so bad news is that I need to move these minus of 5. I know, too bad. This one is positive and negative. Sorry, yes. So minus here, but plus here. This one's 5. Okay. Now the opposite here, that's, well, it's still a diagonal, so it's fairly easy to input the numbers. Plus, minus, okay, so I keep the exact symmetry using numeric inputs. Okay, there's not much difference between the sizes of these elements, but I did want to cover those flat zones. I like it. Now, the thing is that maybe, even if it's going to cover a bit some part of the medallion there, let me add some more spheres here and there, because that gives a very oriental look. In India, they keep using a lot of spheres as decorations around their designs. It's also the mille grain, which is an Italian tradition that comes from before Rome, from the Etruscan people who invented the mille grain, which is a very amazing jewelry technique with soldering paste. They used to use chemistry to join all the spheres uh, to the gold. It was made in gold, which is also why it was so amazing. Okay, I don't know yet where I'm going to place them exactly. And also, generally, there's that triple sphere or more part of the design. Okay, this one needs to go up, this one needs to come down a bit. Okay, and maybe at the tip. Okay, and the Etruscan used to call that the granulado. So let's put Etruscan. This is just a jewelry history class. Etruscan granulado. And you can see that, especially here, this is more as like the original there, or somewhere like this. Okay, this is el granulado, which is the Etruscan technique. It has been revived. Obviously, it got lost during centuries. Okay, so it gives a very antique look to the design. Not just these straight borders, this effect there, and they had like a, well, from what we know, historically speaking, anthropologically speaking, about a soldering paste already, because they use chemical to dissolve the gold. So obviously it was very surely very toxic to do that, because maybe lead or mercury was involved in the process, or worse, well, which is already pretty bad because mercury fumes are deadly, and many people have died because of these techniques. So yeah, this is also a pretty good example there, but it's more when the zone is like the first one like these. Yeah, this is quite amazing. So this design might be new or ancient. We don't, you can't tell when looking at something like this one, when it's really well made in a contemporary way, but using the same well, working so that the design looks old. Well, you just can tell it's going to be, yeah, people are able to create fake antiques, you know, even in gold, obviously. It's always a problem, but obviously that means that they're technically very well trained professionals. So okay, so let's keep, okay, maybe here, maybe here, maybe, because also I don't want to cover the map too much. It's after all that effort and the amazing result of the map medallion, we're not here to lose. But even if I said I don't really need people to be able to read necessarily the map, even if in fact there you can totally read much of the names, which wasn't necessarily the goal. Okay, we have that. We have that. I don't like it. Here, I don't like it. There. Okay, maybe that one smaller. Okay, zoom with the numpad point. There we go. And here we go. So this one, okay, let's erase that one. Let's bring this here. Okay, Control D. And let's bring it inside the metal right there. These small peaks don't matter much for the manufacturing. Maybe during rendering we'll have some issues to smooth that out, but I don't. They're very small, in fact, so at such a distance, the render might look very amazing. Okay, we have these spheres. Do I like them? Yes. Yeah, I think yes. So we still might need here. This one gets no mirror. X0 under the tip here, and maybe bigger. Okay. These are really small details. I know. You know, that's our job. That's why jewelry designing is not necessarily for everybody. Jewelry designing is not always glamorous as people think it is. Okay, we have this and that. Okay, so I don't like this. If you are from one of the countries that I'm hiding, don't take it personally. It's nothing on purpose at all, you know? Don't get offended by such a thing. Okay. Oh, now I like it. Okay. And maybe, yeah, the problem with spheres, just like a good Etruscan would do, once you start, you can't stop. And we start putting spheres everywhere. No, obviously, no. No, no, no. Prevent me from doing that. Especially when they don't fit well. You know, because if you can't see the entire shape of the sphere, you should prevent from. Okay, but the thing is, okay, this one is getting the mirror. Paste here. Let me see something. These friends. Okay, sorry. That's just because of the array. Okay, so Control A, all transforms. Control A, all transforms. All transform. Okay, perfect. Let me just see what we have. Isolating this and hiding. Sorry, hiding the stone. Okay, I do need a cutter right here. Sorry, folks. Sometimes you see something, do it on the fly. Okay, perfect. Center this. It's going to be a cutter here. So you need another cut here. Okay, perfect. So that's why I already had the ground prepared here also, and why we're at it. We are going to make, because the gemstones and especially the amber is quite translucent, it's always a good practice to, where did the decorations go? Okay, this is the amber. Well, it's called a gemstone. It's a resin, in fact, a very old solidified resin. but I do have some decorations that, where did they go? Okay, they're right here. What's the name of that? Okay, these are rubies decorations. Put names to things. Central bevel or bezel. Well, it's the bezel. Okay. So here, decorations. So let's create a. I have a better. Sometimes simpler things work better. We're going to make a diamond shaped with a all transforms SX. We're going to do this. Now we're going to copy this here. Edit mode. Let's bring this friend here. And this friend will basically on the same line, I think, yes. So let's go here. As an A, Shift D. Let's move it here. It's like these guys. Try to give an even distance if you can, if you dare. Okay, I might follow a bit, just a bit, the curvature of the inside. Okay, let's try to align this a bit better. Okay, here. Now, mirror based on this friend. All right, this and that, SZ, GZ. All right, save. Now, this is going to be Alt C, GY, Control A, all transforms. Now we need array. So, array, yes, I don't know, 12 times based on distribution 3. Control J, please. Yes, not relative. Okay, now 12. So distribution 3 is 360 divided by 12. There was a mistake in my division at the beginning, obviously. Okay, this is pretty nice. Maybe we can fit a bit more. So let's go to my cube here. Let's try 16. So 360 divided by 16. So divided by 16. Oh, this is perfect. Now this needs the boolean fast. These guys. H. Okay, here the problem is that the spaces here, these spaces are too small for real life printing, casting, and manufacturing. All right, so I'm going to adapt the design. Now this gotta be smaller here, not on the z-axis. Keep it like that. Now this is not very well aligned. Alt Z. Don't forget the transparency. Let's correct. Okay, problem is here. Oh, sorry. The symmetry. Okay, so let's make that an SX, and we're going to place that. You can find a way to make things symmetrical even if you don't have a mirror anymore. Okay, so I changed the diamond shape bit, so let's bring it back to diamond shape. Oh, sorry. Don't forget the transparency. Okay, it's still too narrow. SX again. Should follow the angles of the side. All right. So that was a way of making decorative cutters. Very important. Jewelry making, jewelry design is a specific field. Okay. So like I said before, you're a video game designer or an asset creator, etc., etc. Every field has. I don't know how to prepare assets for video games, for example. Would be cool, maybe, but I get paid to make jewelry design because my designs are very manufacturable. Okay, here I was not done. I was just seeing that the inside had some issues, you know. Okay, here. Okay, yes, here. But this one needs to, I don't know, it's not too bad. Yeah, but needs to touch the base. Now here I might have a problem. That would be this. Let's try 0. This one bigger. So this one is mainly more for contact because like I said at the beginning, but you know what? I'm going to make this. This is the base to fill this gap because there's a gap there and that's bad. Just check that under the hood. Okay, let's see. Does not come out. It doesn't harm the perfection of the back. Okay, anyway, here and here, so I can still place smaller spheres. Just like I said, we're trying to keep. Okay, there it's merging. Let's not merge these frames. Okay, is it touching the base? Yes. This is always the concern for 3D printing. Okay, so here I don't like it yet, but I might come to like it if I'm able to fit the third sphere. Okay, I will have to stop eventually adding spheres. I was talking about the Etruscan, sorry, and jewelry history and all that. Okay, I have all these spheres. Now select all these spheres. I need you spheres to come together. Okay, this like that. So only do this when you're sure that you like them. Spheres, decos. Okay, this is nice. And Control A all transforms, and let's make Shift D 90, Shift D 180, Shift D 270. Okay. It gives it a bit of a fractal look, right? It's pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, I love the decoration there. You understand why. And oh, we can do something with these cutters, you know. Cube. This should be called central bezel cutters. Okay, let's do a copy of these. And we're going to do something similar, but we are going to place them here. So I think I have a bit more space here. Okay, decorations, they're here to remove weight. Well, they're also here to remove weight. You should know that. That's why. Okay, the curvature changes here, obviously. Let's take this and that. That. So if I can bring these decorations as an engraving on the back, it's going to be great. Obviously, I will have to avoid. Okay, let's try at 32. I need placement, distribution. No, sorry. Okay, Shift D, number 4. We are. Because this one is 360 divided by 36, which is 10. Thank you. So let's go to 36 and its placement number 4. We could have more than that. And obviously the angles are not correct. So wait, let's try to make it like this. Okay. And now let's take these. Let's take these. SX C. Step by step. SX. Okay, and let's try these. SX. So we have straight shapes there. This is pretty good. But here, I'm going to transform this into a mesh. And I'm going to erase specific positions. I don't want to affect the cuts to the stones. It won't look good because of that. Like this. Now here, let's do this here. Okay, let's already erase these. And we also have on the sides, okay, here it's, I'm just going to remove this, I think. Only the Boolean will see. Okay, here. Let me be here, right there. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Delete vertices. Great. Now let's take this border. Needs another Boolean. Fast. Remove these. H. Okay, it's not working. Central bezel, central bezel. These guys, we need to remesh you people. Remesh. Okay. Okay. That's the Taurus. The Taurus showing up there. So and the depth is not the same for everybody, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, let's have a look at that. There are some things we need to see. Let's see the side view. See that there's a difference. I want the star-shaped colors to be deeper. Just wait, coming out of the edit mode. No, I don't want. Okay, let's hide this for a second. Let's hide these for a second too. Okay, so now we need to be able to. Okay, let's make the Boolean, but before the mirror. And let's make the cut from the bezel. Why? Let's make it exact. Maybe let's have a go at exact. You can see some parts they don't get cut out correctly. Okay. Now this is clean. It's perfect. And this is typically what a jewelry designer would do, and because it's not because it's on the back, and see the difference of requirements for each industry. You don't see the back part in video games. Okay, in real life, you are finally going to see the back of the jewels because they move, they rotate, you know, they move the life of the jewel. And when you remove the jewel, when you put it on the table, etc., well, they flip, so you can see the back. That's why working all around the jewel is fundamental. Anyway, I was talking about typical requirements for each industries. Okay, so it's true in a video game you would generally not work on the back of the jewel. It's useless geometry, and you know that the poly counts is very important for video games, and still is. Maybe someday we'll stop being that important because technology is moving that way, but anyway. Okay, so this is okay. Now we need the chain. We need a chain. So let's create a cube. Bronze material. Let's turn on the mirror. We're going to make the part where the bail is going to. Well, we need to have a place where the chain goes. As part of the design, obviously. Okay, here we don't have that much space. Thickness, not that thick. Here. So some clients, they love very big spaces for. Okay, here I'm going to do a merge. Merge at almost 1 like this. Okay. Extrude. Well, in fact, it's going to be straight there. Extrude. Yeah, they like very big spaces, so the jewel can, so the chain can come through. They like very big bails for their chains. Personally, I preferred custom design bails. It's obviously, okay, this is way too big. It looks bad. It's not proportioned. Okay, the medallion, but it should not interfere with the proportion of the design. You know, that's very important. And generally making very big bails like that make the jewel look bad. It's bad taste. You should know that it's bad taste. There's not much doubt about that. It's bad taste. Okay. So far so good, but this is way too straight. So let's make a remeshing. Or maybe, wait a second. Let's try a subdivision surface. Okay, it's trying to be a bit better. Two, three. I'm sorry, I said three. Let's make it shade smooth. Let's try a bevel so we keep a bit more the original shape. So before the subdivision right here, 0.5, 1.2. I want it a bit rounded, but not too much. Okay, this is pretty nice. And okay, the problem is that I'm going to make the clipping and not the merge, I think. I know, sorry. We need the clipping and the merge. But the merging sometimes make that line here, especially with the subdivision. Okay, this is maybe even at one. No, doesn't. Okay, the thing is here, let's apply the mirror. So let's go 0.5. Okay, apply the mirror, and what you're gonna have is that we have a face generally there. You can see this is a face that we don't want, only face, and this cleans the bridge. Okay, we have this. We're going to copy this because, like I said, decorations. Decorations. All right, so I'm going to raise that side. We're going to make small decorations. That was weird. Okay, here, let me close this. F. Okay, AS. I'm going to decorate this. SY. Let's copy this. SY. Just like that. Just on the front side. So these are small decoration, right? But this makes the entire process a jewelry design process. I say that all the time. Nah, I don't say that all the time. I say that quite often, but oops, sorry. No extrusion here. Rotation. I said rotation. Thank you, sir. This and there, because that's where the bail goes. I'm not going to do that. This guy needs a mirror. And base. Okay, with this guy anyway can have all transform reset. Okay, why are we not centered? This guy is not centered. That's why. All transforms. And okay, we have a problem with the set origin to geometry. My center was not centered. Sometimes the centers don't get centered. Okay, we have this. That's a detail. Now we need a chain bail and a chain. So come on, let's make a plane to the view. Did I set to the view? Yes, to the view. Come on. All right. Let's make it bronze at once. Now we're going to make a mirror based on this and the clipping on the z-axis. Okay, from here we're going to go. Okay, let me erase this. So we're here. Let's extrude. So that's where the client, some they want huge bales, set with stones and all of that, which is quite fun. But it's not always pretty because it destroys the proportions of the design. And always be aware that, okay, here, actually I'm going to center everybody, Alt 0 on this X position here. Okay, EX is gonna here like this, and on the Z, on the X axis. Okay, this is pretty good. Now I'll solidify. Well, let's try it like this. Okay, we have this. Here we're gonna merge at 0.5. Okay, we have this. It's starting to be pretty good. Edit mode. We can be a bit wider here. Okay. And that's also why I like to design my own chains, because that's one of the things I like to design most. Okay, it's even 2. It's pretty nice. Okay, let's make it 3 maybe. Shade smooth. Now the distance of the merging, 1. And I'll maybe 3. Okay. I don't like that merging. You know, the merging here is not always great. So we do need the but wait a second. Ooh. Okay, let's remove the clipping for a second. What happened here? These guys moved weirdly here. Now let's go back here. Need the merging, need the clipping. Okay, this is clean on that side. But this side, what happened? Some points moved in a weird direction. That's all right. Okay, it's okay, way cleaner, perfect. Now it's going to be okay. Sometimes we taper, sometimes we don't. I'm going to taper this, I think, very slightly. Simply deform, taper on the. Oh, no, wait. Ah, well, that's not too bad. Let's do it a bit like this, and let's do another one. Taper. But anyway, I don't wait a second because I can do this, I think, directly here. No extrusion. Selection, rotation. Okay, this is great. It's always a bit more elegant with the tapper. Okay, now we're going to do some decorations. Very simple ones. So if I can, let's remove the mirror on X, no mirror on X. What do we have here? Okay, we have this. This is good, I guess. Let's come here. And let's make the thickness, which is the solidify. Well, or let's take everybody, edit mode, S. Especially S on the Z axis. And is the clipping on? Yes, the clipping is on. SY. And what happened again? Okay, give me a second. Oh, there's a side that makes weird clippings. So let's remove the clipping for a second. Okay, here we go. 0.6. Okay, SY. There we go. And SZ. Okay, that's one decoration. That is going to get a mirror here. No, not a mask. We have no time for masking anything. Wait. Make it from this. Okay, also let's rotate this more if possible. And also, this is just a decoration like that. Okay, here, and guess what? I'm going to bring spheres. So, my friend, the spheres should be our set. R, come on. This might fit here pretty well. Maybe just a bit smaller. Alright. Okay, we have this. What's going on? Okay, we need the Shift D. Set. Minus maybe. Ah, no, it doesn't matter. 180. Let's move out here. Let's move it here. Okay, this one bigger. Okay, this is great. Let's make it. As long as it doesn't. Okay, so here I get what I'm saying. As long as it doesn't affect the movements of the bale, and this means I don't have enough space now. So all that must be determined by the design. Okay, and in my case, I'm going to design the chain myself. So obviously that helps a lot. Okay, here. Let's see. It's a bit easier, like I said, when you design your own chain, because you can adapt the chain to the bale and not the other way around. This is weird. This one seems lower. That's all right. Ah, but you know what? I need a sphere right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Shift D, edit L, I, delete A, S. This is one here, and Shift D here. All right, A, we need a mirror based on the medallion. And also this must be based on the medallion, please. The medallion. Okay, now we need some spheres. We don't need mirror, I just need one sphere. Delete this. Origin geometry, center it. Now we need just a couple of spheres right here. This. Okay. All right. So this is amazing. We have a bale that goes with the design. Okay. Okay, great. We're almost there. We still have a couple of things to make. And because I said that this is a compass medallion, obviously we need some arrow-shaped design for the directions. The stones are making north, east, south, west, but we still need something more. Okay, let's create a cube. Let's rotate the cube 45 degrees. Z. And now something like this here. Okay, let's go to edit mode. Let's see. It's A. And let's make this the tip of the arrow. We can make it merge at center like this. This is already going pretty well for what I want to achieve. I think it's a bit too big here. Okay, material is going to be bronze, obviously. Okay, here. This is just to see it correctly on screen. Now, I want to center this here. I need to make it stand out a bit and come out here. Okay, I think it's too long. The proportion is something I will confirm later. S, Y to make this go inside the bezel. It's coming out of the bezel. A, let's bring it down. And because they're going to go on the diagonals, I still not know if the portions are correct. Okay, but we have here at this point and this point, that must, yes, see, like this. Okay, this is just a general shape, because now Control A, all transforms and rotate minus 45 degrees, and obviously I need to adapt the angle. It's just on the Z axis here, but now I have this problem that it's going away too much inside the medallion. We can't see the arrow properly. So I'm going to have to bend it. So instead of doing that like this, let's go back a bit to where we were here, and let's take the medallion and just the arrow diagonal, and we're going to have a look at, well, things like bevel first, because it's a bit too sharp. This was with 2, 3, and 5, or 75. This is pretty good. And now we're going to subdivide if possible. Let's go at 3, and let's try a simple deform. We need to bend. Let's see if we can find, okay, the direction, and let's make it follow here. So, okay, let's make a Control A rotation. And let's try to find the correct direction. Okay, like this is the correct direction. So if you have problems, don't forget to reset the rotation, to apply the rotation. This seems to be pretty good. The object shade smooth. Now let's see if we can Well, let's make a copy of this. Let's hide the original. Let's take this one because let's make an Alt C. So now we can make a Control A, all transforms, and make the rotation of 45 degrees. Diagonal, and let's have a look at the size. Do I like the size? Because obviously, if I need to change the size now, well, let's have a look at changing the size directly from edit mode. Despite the curvature, sometimes curvatures obviously won't let you rescale your designs. Check on the back that we're all right. Okay. It's just detail, but it's always great. Apply all transforms, and let's make mirrors and mirrors. Okay, like this. So now that's more for the compass look. This is great now. So here we are. I hope you loved this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following my channel. You can find me on social media. Send me emails. Thanks for your support, buying my assets, or sending me 3D models to design for you. And this was the modeling, the 3D jewelry modeling of the Adventurer's Medallion. Obviously, this tutorial was longer and more complex than others, but all the trends on my channel show that people want longer and more complex tutorials. They also want quicker and shorter tutorials, so that's why I'm going to be playing with all kinds of productions, and because my channel is asking many different types of creations. This is hard, obviously, also because of the languages, because you know that I do tutorials in English, in French, and in Spanish, and thousands of people of every language is following the channel and asking for more tutorials, more content in every language. But anyway, I'll keep up to the channel because Google knows that my channel is using 3 languages, so it's great because the information is correctly out there. And also, well, the channel is growing, and the feedback, the appreciation, also the support is growing very nicely. And well, that's clearly now a part of my job. So yes, it takes quite a lot of effort and time to create these type of tutorials because, well, we want to find interesting designs to make, to create. And well, when I got the idea of this medallion, believe me, there was a huge smile on my face because I said, this is going to be amazing, this is going to be legendary. And well, it's always great to be able to do that on my channel, and also because people are really appreciating that. Well, I'm almost the only one to really do that at that scale, and sharing that much about all of this. This medallion is ready for manufacturing, for real life 3D printing and manufacturing. Obviously, I will make a video. The next step is to create the chain. I talked about creating the chain, designing the chain for the medallion. I'm not doing it now because first I must create the entire rendered scene, because obviously this design deserves an amazing render and animation very shortly. So we'll create the entire scene, and when I'll create the scene, we'll first design, well, the scene and then the chain to adapt to the render scene. All right. So well, thanks for all your support. As always, be nice to people, be nice to animals, be nice to the planet. Take care and see you soon.